Hi, and welcome back to part 2 of this video tutorial showing how to draw a plot plan and locate a building on it. In part 1 we created this shape, which is a cul-de-sac lot, a random cul-de-sac lot, and we'll go continue on here by placing a house on this drawing. One of the things required on this particular lot, which is frequently encountered, is a setback, and there is a requirement to have a 25-foot setback from these lines. I'm going to throw one more line in here. And oops. So we're going to create a setback quite quickly here. If I can hit these lines. By using the offset tool, I'm just going to drag this in and go 25 feet. So that gives us a 25-foot setback to work around. I'm just going to trim off this little bit of geometry here. So we know that we need to miss that line with our house plan. Alright, and we can just generate a random house. And I'm going to put, let's say it's going to be 47 feet and 39 feet. And then we'll let's just make this a little trickier as far as locating. Just take an angle here. Let's offset the garage at there's 30 degrees. So we'll just throw a garage. Oops. Throw a let's see. This would be a garage I'd like to have. Let's make it 32 feet long. Get this to infer. Yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult than that. I'm going to put a line 90 degrees here. And let's go 28 feet. See if I can get this to infer a parallel line there. There it goes. So there's a house with a funny looking garage on it. Doesn't matter what shape the house you're talking about is. Just put a little room addition on this side, some random size. These guidelines, so we'll call that our house outline. I'll just group this geometry. So we want to be able to position this house so that it clears this 25-foot setback on that side. Let's say that we got to have a 15-foot side lot. Requirement, and then we want to position this house as close as we can to this cul-de-sac and parallel to it. So I'm just going to draw a guideline here, and this will be parallel, or I guess perpendicular parallel to the 2 points of the cul-de-sac if you wanted the house to be facing that cul-de-sac. Then we can just move our house drawing over here. I'm just going to pick a random point and drop it down and then rotate it. Actually, try to infer this line here and see if it'll pick up on it any better. Let's see. It'll be a little tricky, but once you've got these lines established, you can just work with this and get it placed. So let's just put that point on there, and we'll re-rotate this to get it to line up parallel to our line, which is right there. Now when we move it around, I can grab these points. You can see I'm going to follow this 25-foot setback line here pretty easily with this corner of the house and with all the angles involved. That's about as close as you can get it. Still move this again. Try to get this, and we're going to get this other corner of the house to meet up with this other side setback line. Maybe I can get it to go this way. Goes. Oops, I had it there for a second and it jumped away. So by doing that, we're getting this weird Z-flashing thing. Let me delete this surface out of there, and then it won't Z-flash. So what this gives us is the actual lot size. All these dimensions are taken right off the drawing. You can see all these match up to the numbers we entered. Dimensions trying to go vertically, and I don't want it that way. So you can see how those dimensions are all built in, all the angles are built in, and now we can just measure. If you were staking this out as a property pin here, you can just get 2 dimensions to this corner of the property on a linear, straight in dimension, and this corner. So by using a 100-foot tape off these 2 property pins, you can locate these house corners and know that, oops, let's see, go this way, put that dimension in and then put another one from this corner. So by using, if you had these 2 property pins and a 100-foot tape, you could locate those 2 corners of the house. You can locate this corner if you want. It doesn't really matter which ones you want to work with. Any dimension, you can just find it out. Oops. You could locate your building corners for the excavation or whatever for a plot plan. If you have to submit something for your building permit, you have all that stuff. Another nice feature about this, I'm just going to back some of these dimensions off here, is that if you had or having trouble finding some of these property corners, you can also just draw from, say you were having trouble locating that pin, you can, and you had some of these other ones, you can just measure these things and then dig around in the dirt closer to where that pin should be, and find those things out. Or if there's only one of them missing, or if it's just buried in the dirt or the grass, you can find those pins a little easier sometimes in aid in locating your house. You can see by the same process that if you were trying to maximize the front yard side and had a setback in the back lot of 25 feet maybe, then you can take the same structure and just move it. You can move it and put it wherever, whatever constraints or things you're trying to achieve with the location. Something I wanted to show here is that by, let's just leave those 2 dimensions in. Now when we move this house, if we say, well, we don't want it right on that boundary line, we want to scooch it back. Wherever you put this house on the property line, here's another, if we use the back setback and the side setback, you can see that these dimensions automatically adjust. So if you're working with other houses or other constraints, drainage issues or whatever, once you've established this perimeter and your house footprint, the possibilities are pretty much endless of the dimensions location-wise you can get. If you're doing this with pencil and paper, if you move the house a foot, then you'd have to go through all the calculations again to get new dimensions. But this way you can just shuffle this geometry around and get whatever dimensions fit within your parameters. It's kind of a handy thing. Anyways, I'll leave the video at that. Like I say, go to that Fine Home Building Digital Job Site blog post for additional information for this drawing and some other ways to enhance your plot plan. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'd appreciate if you take a second to post a comment or give me a thumbs up or down on these videos, and I'll try to improve them as time goes on. Thanks for watching.